Hello students, welcome to lecture 9 of our online chemistry classes. In last class we learned about the gram molecular mass, gram atomic mass. We have solved some questions on it, and we started with the Dalton's hypothesis that elements react with each other in a simple ratio of their atoms. Gay-Lussac's modified it. Gases combines or react with each other in the simple ratio of their volume. Then Berzelius combined these two, and he said under similar conditions of temperature and pressure, equal volume of all gases contains equal number of atoms. We apply this to simple reaction H2 plus Cl2 equals to HCl gases reaction, and ultimately we found that half atom of H2 combines with half atom of Cl2 and it forms one compound atom of HCl. But this is against the Dalton's theory, so Berzelius' hypothesis was discarded, disproved. Then Avogadro comes with his hypothesis. He modified that Berzelius hypothesis by saying that under similar conditions of temperature and pressure, equal volume of all gases contains same number of molecules, and it was quite okay with this H2 plus Cl equals to HCl. The molecule splits up, forms atoms, they undergo chemical change and form a new molecule. Now there are certain applications of this Avogadro's hypothesis. The first application is applications of Avogadro's hypothesis. The first application is the atomicity. The atomicity word is a direct consequence of the Avogadro's hypothesis. What is this atomicity? It is nothing but number of atoms in a molecule of substance. For example, you can say atomicity is 1 for monoatomic molecule. Monoatomic molecules. And what are the examples of monoatomic molecules? The example is noble gases. All noble gases, they exist as a monoatomic molecule. When atomicity is 2, we call this as diatomic molecule. The example is hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine. And if atomicity is more than 2, we call it as polyatomic molecule. Example is ozone, phosphorus and sulfur. So this word atomicity is a direct consequence of Avogadro's hypothesis. The next consequence is that the Avogadro's hypothesis able to establish the relationship between vapor density and molecular mass. First we should know what we mean by vapor density. Even though derivation is not in syllabus, only formula I am writing. The vapor density is nothing but ratio of volume of gas to the volume of hydrogen at same temperature and pressure. And this vapor density found to be molecular mass divided by 2. That's why we can say molecular mass is equal to 2 into vapor density. I already told you that in our syllabus the derivation is not there, but we have to remember this final form of this ratio, where molecular mass is equal to 2 into vapor density. So one more way to calculate the molecular mass when vapor density is given is the consequence of the Avogadro's hypothesis. And third and very important application of Avogadro's hypothesis is the concept of gram molar volume. Gram molar volume. We call it as GMV. Now what we mean by GMV? At STP, also called as NTP, standard temperature pressure and normal temperature pressure. The condition is pressure is 1 atm and the temperature is 273 K. This pressure and temperature are called as standard temperature pressure or normal temperature pressure. If we consider the density of hydrogen, it happens to be 0.00009 gram per milliliter. What I am saying, density of hydrogen at STP or NTP, both are same. Having pressure equals to 1 atm, temperature equals to 273 K, is equal to 0.00009 gram per milliliter. Now what it means? It means that 0.00009 gram is equal to 1 milliliter. Per milliliter means 1 milliliter for hydrogen. If we calculate this for 2.016 gram, which is the gram molecular mass of hydrogen, because atomic mass is 1.008, roughly we can take it as 1, and hydrogen is diatomic, so 1.008 plus 1.008 is 2.016 gram. How much volume it occupies? That volume we call it as GMV, gram molar volume or gram molecular volume. Now we can easily solve this. This is equal to 2.016 multiplied by 1 divided by 0.00009, and that happens to be 22,400 milliliter. That equals to be 22.4 liter, and that is called as the gram molar volume. This is for hydrogen. Means if we take 2.016 gram of hydrogen at 1 atm and 273 K, it occupies how much volume? 22.4 liter. What Avogadro hypothesis says, equal volume of all gases. If we take 22.4 liter for hydrogen and carbon dioxide, we take two gases. Equal volume of all gases contains equal number of molecules. So that corresponds to their molecular mass. And number of molecules in the molecular mass is nothing but the Avogadro. For example, If we take these various examples, see, we consider this a gas, and then we write gram molecular mass, and then we write gram molar volume. For hydrogen, 2.016 gram, and that is 22.4 liters. If we take carbon dioxide, it is 44 gram, isn't it? 12 plus 16 plus 16, 44 gram. Same volume, provided that the condition is either H2 or NTP. If we take methane gas, CH4, 16 gram, 12 plus 4, 1, 1, 1, 1, or hydrogen 1. That also occupies same volume. Nitrogen, 28 gram, 22.4 liters. Sulfur dioxide, 64 gram, 22.4 liters. How many molecules they have number wise? That equals to Avogadro number. For example, if we consider all these are equal volumes at same temperature and pressure, so they contain same number of molecules. And what that number of molecules is? That is nothing but this Avogadro. So very important concept, irrespective of the which gas we are considering. If we take gram molecular mass of that gas, that corresponds to same volume, 22.4 liters, and that corresponds to same number of molecules. So this unified factor is based on the Avogadro's hypothesis. So the question is only one question. What is the statement or state Avogadro's hypothesis? Under the similar conditions of temperature and pressure, equal volume of all gases contains equal number of molecules, and the meaning of it and the number 22.4 liter, that is main important features of this Avogadro's hypothesis. So we have started with atoms, molecules, atomic mass, molecular mass, gram atomic mass, gram molecular mass, and now we have gram molar volume. Right. So these are the ways in which these concepts we are developing. Now we have to go for next concept. It is called as the mole concept. Long back we have learned that SI unit of amount of substance is mole. So what this mole is, how to define it, that we are going to learn now. And the more important thing is the mathematical expressions it involves. If we understand all mathematical expression, it is easy for us to solve the questions on it. We will do enough practice for it. The mole concept, if we count the object, for counting objects, we use different units. For example, we use 1 dozen, which is nothing but 12 units. If we say 1 dozen pencils, it means 12 pencils. If we say 1 dozen notebook, we say 12 notebooks. Irrespective of the objects we are counting, when we say 1 dozen, this 12 number is associated with it. If we say 1 gross, 144 units associated with it. But this 12, 124, they are very small numbers compared to the atoms and molecules, because they are present in very large number. So for that, a mole concept is evolved. Now, how to define this mole? We can say mole is defined as number of atoms in 12 gram of carbon 12. See the definition. It is the number of atoms in 12 gram of carbon 12. We know 12 gram is the gram atomic mass of carbon, and that's why that equals to Na, called as Avogadro's number, and that happens to be 6.022 into 10 raised to 20. Now, how we can use this number? When we say 1 mole of hydrogen atoms, we are referring to 6.0022 into 10 raised to 23 hydrogen atoms. When we say 1 mole of hydrogen molecule, it means 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 hydrogen molecules. Just like it can be pencil, it can be notebook, it can be apples, it can be banana. 1 dozen means 12, like that. 1 mole means this number. Hydrogen atoms, that many hydrogen atoms. Hydrogen molecules, that many hydrogen molecules. 1 mole of potassium ions is nothing but 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 potassium ions. K plus is nothing but potassium ions. 1 mole of electron is nothing but 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 electrons. So when we use this word 1 mole, the number associated with that is nothing but Avogadro number, 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. And how exactly we are defining mole? It is a number of what? Atoms. Where these atoms are? In 12 gram of carbon 12 isotope. And how many number of atoms these are? Avogadro number of atoms. Now for ionic compound, this is used in some different contexts. See, for ionic compound, example is BaCl2. For that, we use word gram formula mass, just like gram molecular mass. It is 1 barium and there are 2 chlorine into it. 1 barium has atomic mass equals to 1, in fact I will say barium ions and 2 chloride ions into it, and that is nothing but 137.2 71, and that equals to 208.2. That is the gram formula mass. Formula word we are using for the ionic compound. So this, and it is gram formula mass, so 208.2 gram. What it means? It means 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 BaCl2 units. and 1 BaCl2 gives rise to 1 Ba plus 2 ions and 2 Cl minus ions. So that is equal to 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 Ba plus 2 ions, because it is 1 mole. And how many chloride ions are there? If it is 1 mole, this is 2 moles, so it is 2 into 6.022 into 10 raised to 23, like that. So in ionic compounds, ions are present, but the ratio is 1:2 here. So 1 mole of BaCl2 means 1 mole of Ba plus 2 ion and 2 moles of Cl minus. In that way, we have to use this. When we solve question, we'll again refer to this. So these are the different things we are using here. If I want to summarize all these things, see how I can summarize. We have 4 things with us. One is atoms, molecules, we have ionic compounds, and we have gaseous substance, right? For atoms, we have atomic mass, relative atomic mass, unit is U or AMU or Dalton. Then we have gram atomic mass, isn't it? Atomic mass expressed in gram, unit is gram. Then we have molar mass, and the unit is gram per mole. For example, if we consider the hydrogen, what is its atomic mass? 1 U. What is the gram atomic mass? 1 gram. What is the molar mass? 1 gram mole. So these different terms we are using, and we should know how to distinguish between them. 4th thing, 1 gram atomic mass is nothing but 1 gram atom, is nothing but number wise 1 more atoms present, is nothing but Avogadro number of atoms present. You understand this? 1 gram atom, atomic mass expressed in gram, also called as 1 gram atom, also called as 1 mole, and it contains Avogadro number of atoms. For molecules, we have molecular mass expressed in U, gram molecular mass expressed in gram, and then molar mass, unit is gram per mole, and we can say 1 gram molecular mass is equal to 1 gram molecule is equal to 1 molecule is equal to Avogadro number of molecules. Why these 4 things? Because we come across 4 different types of particles. For ionic compounds, we have formula mass, nothing but molecular mass expressed in U. Gram formula mass expressed in gram, and then we can say molar mass expressed in gram mole, and 1 gram formula mass is equal to 1 gram molecule is equal to 1 mole is equal to Avogadro number of molecules. For gaseous substance, we have gram molar volume, and the value of this at STP or NTP equals to 22.4 liters, right? So for different species, different particles, if it is atoms, we express information in certain way: atomic mass, gram atomic mass, molar mass. Look at the different units. If it is molecule, we express in a certain way. If it is ionic compound, it is expressed in another way. And for gaseous substance, we have this GMV, 22.4 liter at standard temperature pressure from normal temperature pressure. Now we have various formulas for number of moles. We'll write those formulas. This is just different terms we are using, and I have written those terms together. There is nothing new for us here. All these things we have seen here. Now for moles, we'll make the list of formula, and then we try to use them. The first is N is equal to number of moles. So this number of moles can be equals to mass of that element in gram divided by gram atomic mass, if that is for element. If it is molecule, number of moles is equal to mass of substance in gram divided by gram molecular mass. Thirdly, we can say N is equal to number of moles is equal to capital N divided by Avogadro number. This capital N can be number of atoms, or this can be number of molecules, and Na is nothing but Avogadro's number. Number of moles is equal to, we'll just write this formula when we solve problem, then we'll come to know how we have to use this. Volume of gas in liters divided by 22.4 liters at STP. It means if one gas occupies 22.4 liter at STP, what is the number of moles? 22.4 liter divided by 22.4 liter. Number of moles are 1, like that. So this 4 and then one more. Mass of one atom is equal to gram atomic mass divided by 6.022 into 10 raised to 23, and mass of one molecule is equal to gram molecular mass divided by 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. It means gram atomic mass is equal to mass of one atom multiplied by Avogadro number. Gram molecular mass is nothing but mass of one molecule divided by Avogadro number. Because gram atomic mass is nothing but mass of Avogadro number of atoms, and gram molecular mass is nothing but mass of Avogadro number of molecules. So these are the 6 formulas we are writing for time being. We will use them. Very central concept. Many questions are to be practiced on this particular concept. We will start one by one to make note of this all formula and see how we use them in various questions. More questions need to be solved, then only formula can be clearly understood. Calculate the mass of single atom of sulfur and single molecule of carbon dioxide. So we will write answer first of A. Mass of single atom of sulfur is equal to gram atomic mass of sulfur divided by Avogadro. What is the gram atomic mass of sulfur? They will give in bracket. 32 divided by 6.022 into 10 raised to 23, and that happens to be 5.31 into 10 raised to minus 23 gram. Similarly, we can calculate mass of single molecule of carbon dioxide is equal to, yes, what is the formula? Gram molecular mass divided by Avogadro number. What is the gram molecular mass of carbon dioxide? It's CO2. Carbon dioxide. Carbon is 12. One oxygen is 16 plus 16. 32 plus 12. 44. Divided by 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. And this happens to be 7.308 into 10 raised to minus 23 gram. How the unit gram remains? Gram molecular mass as unit gram, and this is Avogadro number, which is, we can say, gram per mole, and Avogadro number is per mole. This we can cancel. 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 per mole. So only gram will remain here. See these two questions. The unit is gram because mass of one atom of sulfur they have asked. Mass of one molecule of single molecule of carbon dioxide they are asked. So they are asking mass unit is gram. We see next question. If you think speed is more, you can just pause this video and then complete the answers. Next one is, how many molecules of water? How many molecules of water are present in .9 gram of water. So first they ask how many molecules. So number of molecules, capital N, equals to number of moles divided by, multiplied by Avogadro. If number of moles are 1, number of molecules equals to Avogadro, like that. Now how to calculate this number of moles here? Mass is given. So you can say number of moles is equal to mass divided by W we can write, or M also we can write, gram molecular mass into Avogadro. What is this W? This is mass of water. What is this GMM? Gram molecular mass of water. And N is Avogadro. Mass of water is 0.9. Gram molecular mass of water is 18, H2O. 2 hydrogen, 1 plus 1 plus 16. Gram molecular mass. Multiplied by 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. We can write this as 9 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 1. It means it becomes 10 raised to 22 plus 23 minus 1, 22. This is 1, this is 2. And this 3.011 we can write. So it is 3.011 into 10 raised to 22 molecules. 0.9 gram of H2O has 3.011 into 10 raised to 22 molecules. They ask us to calculate number of oxygen atoms also here. We can write as one molecule of H2O contains one atom of oxygen, right? Why we are saying so? Because in H2O, 2 atoms of hydrogen, but number of oxygen atoms are only 1. 3.011 into 10 raised to 22 molecules. That's what we got in this sample. Contains how many atoms? Same. 22. Atoms of oxygen, molecules of water. If they ask how many hydrogen atoms, hydrogen, which would have said one molecule of H2O contains 2 atoms of hydrogen, and these many molecules contains 2 multiplied by 3.011 into 10 raised to 22. I hope you are understanding. If they ask about oxygen atoms, you would have twice this number, right? So this is question number 2. We'll go to the next question. Once again, you have to solve these questions without looking into the solutions. Then only you understand. What is the mass of mass of 3.01 ammonia. What is the mass of 3.01 into 10 raised to 22 molecules of ammonia? Number of molecules is equal to number of moles into Avogadro. Molecules they are given, mass they are asked. So you can say N equals to mass by gram molecular mass into Avogadro, right? Because this number of moles is equal to mass divided by gram molecular mass. Why not atomic mass? Because molecule of ammonia they have asked. Ammonia is molecule. So what is the mass they are asked? So I will write this W equals to N into GMM, gram molar mass, by molecules we know. Gram molar mass of ammonia. Ammonia is NH3. Nitrogen is 14 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 for this hydrogen. It is 17. Avogadro number is 6.022 into 10 raised to 23. 3.01 multiplied by 2 is 6.02. This is 8.5. 10 raised to plus 22 multiplied by, when this is in numerator, will have minus 23. 8.5 into 10 raised to minus 1, because minus 23 plus 22 minus 1. 0.85 gram is our answer. So number of molecules in 3.01 into 10 raised to 22 molecules of ammonia is 0.85 gram. Now one question I will give you as homework. Let's see how you solve that question. You should take it as a challenge to you. You should solve this, because if you solve this question yourself, then you can say that you are understanding these concepts. From, this is for homework, from 200 milligram of CO2, 10 raised to 21 molecules are removed. From 200 milligram sample of carbon dioxide, 10 raised to 21 molecules are removed. How many moles of carbon dioxide? How many moles of carbon dioxide left? So how much moles left means mass by molecular mass. Molecular mass of carbon dioxide. Carbon 12, 16 plus 16. So you solve this, definitely if you understood concept, you get it. Whether you get wrong answer or correct answer, try to solve this. So many things are maybe confusing to you, but don't confuse. I have tried my best to simplify it, but things that there are many things and they are correlated. So it will take a time to understand and digest that concept. Have patience. Read again and again. See what notes I have written on the board and you will understand. So thank you for watching this video.